Hey everybody, it's episode 402 of PodQuest.
Hey, not good.
It works. It's Wednesday.
It started going. I just wasn't sure when to end it.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you had a little bit of it felt like you're trying to do a little vibrato in there.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. I am Chris. With me is Walnut.
Hi, I'm here.
So before we got started, we were talking about review scores, and we ended up on Hades. And
yeah,
we were basically talking that Rich hates it. He thinks it's the worst game ever. 0 out of 10. Just absolute garbage.
See, you're putting words in my mouth. You're putting words in my mouth. We've talked about Hades a number of times on the show, and everyone knows that I don't think it's a garbage game. I just don't think it was deserving of the hype that it got, and I don't think it stands up to the hype.
Whereas,
I really don't.
Where I'm on the other side, I hate roguelikes. They're not fun to me. I keep trying them when, different ones are, cheap or on Game Pass or whatever, and maybe 30 minutes, tops.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the first time I die, generally, I'm just like, all right, cool. The combat wasn't fun. The levels were uninspired. I don't care. I'm done, and off I go. I think the only other one that I put any time into was Dead Cells, and that was maybe, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Hades, I played off and on for probably around between 5 and 10 hours.
Yeah.
And I got to, I want to say, the 3rd or 4th realm. I know I beat the Valkyrie. I think she was a Valkyrie. I forget. I beat the first boss a bunch of times. I know I beat the skeleton Hydra.
Yeah.
And I think I made it to the boss. So I guess the 3rd realm. I think I made it to the boss of the 3rd realm a few times, but never got past it. And at a certain point,
the boss of the 3rd realm is Hades, I believe.
No, there's 4 realms.
Fine, I'm sorry. I'll look it up. Keep going.
But yeah, so I never got to Hades. I got to a boss in the 3rd area and kept dying, and I maybe did it 2 or 3 times. And at that point, like I said, somewhere between 5 and 10 hours, and I was just all right. I've had enough. But that was still 5 times the amount that I've spent on any other roguelike. So to me, that game deserves the hype because it had enough going for it that it hooked me for that long.
But then look at someone like me who likes and plays roguelikes and enjoys them, and the game barely hooked me. It maybe got 10 hours, maybe. I got to Elysium, which is the 3rd area, the same area as you. I got to the mid-boss of Elysium when I was kind of just over it. I was done. And it's I played I don't know how many hours of Returnal. I've played Rogue Legacy. I now, admittedly, I have not played a lot of roguelikes, but I've played my fair share. I've played enough, and I thought this one, I thought it was fine. I played Supergiant, right? That's who made this?
Yes.
Yeah, they made also Transistor, and they made what was that other one that
Pyre, and didn't they make Bastion?
Bastion, yeah, that's it. They made Bastion, they made Transistor. And I played Bastion before, a few months before Hades came out. I talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
And the narrative style of the game is really cool, and how the world is built as you travel is really cool. And it's not very much a roguelike, but it is still procedurally generated, but it's still I even said it was fine, but it didn't hold me. I don't care to do the end game content, the post game content. I don't care to get everything done, and it's it's neat. The music's cool. The thing that Supergiant is known for is what everyone's loving Hades for, and that's kind of my problem is, the music's fantastic, look at the scenery. I'm yeah, I've seen this and heard this in Bastion and in Transistor. I didn't play Pyre. I've seen this shit before. That doesn't make the game. Yes, I know they're a small team, but they're good at music, they're good at scenery, they're good at set making. But my problem lies in the gameplay, where it's a game that's meant to be repeated over and over and over, hundreds and hundreds of runs, countless runs, depending on how good or bad you are, and how much you play, hundreds of hours, but I did not see any difference in the actual arenas. the arenas did not change. I saw the same arenas for the same 12 runs that it took me to get halfway through Elysium.
Okay, and yeah, you know what? Like each world, like the areas do look the same as you're going through them. But like I didn't care what the game looked like. Like I thought the art style was nice, and I like the music was fine. But like I generally don't. If I'm playing a game on Switch, I generally don't have the sound on. Like that's just because odds are like we're also watching TV, and I'm not we've been over this. I fucking hate headphones. I'm not going to plug headphones into my Switch and fucking listen through headphones. So like. Yeah. Sound design unfortunately is lost on me because I don't hear most of it. But like I liked the combat. Like I thought the combat was good. I thought the narrative was good. Like I enjoyed like the concept they had going on. And it wasn't so much that the levels were repetitive. It was just I don't have the personality to redo the same thing 10 times until I figure out the pattern. It's like after I die once and I have to redo everything, I'm kind of checked out. Like I don't want to do it again. Like there are non-roguelike games that like I have just died and the save has been too far back, like the most recent save, that I've just stopped playing. Like I don't like redoing things. There's only a handful of games that I will like go back to and replay like multiple times, and they're never like back to back.
Yeah.
That's why I of course I can't think of one right now, but there have been plenty of games where like I die or like get stuck at a point, and whereas like you and Drew and even like your brother, like you'll just keep doing it until like you get past it. I'll just put the game down and not play it for months, maybe even years, and then just go back to it eventually and be like, okay, it's been long enough. Like I haven't touched this game. Like I'll restart it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like that's probably a lot of where my issues lie in Hades is the fact that yes, if you die, you have to it's a roguelike. If you die, you have to restart it, which is obvious. Like you know that's gonna happen. But, like, Drew has hundreds of runs in this game. I got bored seeing the same set pieces in Tartarus after 4 runs. I didn't see anything new. I didn't uncover anything new. And like I said before, there is too much random when it comes to resource gathering. There's too many resources. It's just, to me, it makes it, like, yeah, it pushes you to keep playing, to play more, because you need to unlock everything. But if I need to play 100 runs before I start getting the full crux of the story of Hades, which, I've said this a bunch of times, like, I already knew who his mom was when they revealed it 2 hours into the game. Like, it didn't blow my mind, because I know a lot of Greek mythology. But like, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert, but like, that to me was predictable. That didn't change anything. That, like, when other people came in, like, oh man, when you found out that his mom was Hera, I'm like, yeah, well, Hera and, well, not Hera, what's her name? It's not Hera. Hera is Zeus's, what's her name?
The lady.
Aphrodite? No, not Aphrodite. Who is it now? It's gonna drive me nuts until I know.
The darkness lady, right?
No. His not wife. Persephone. Persephone is Hades' wife. It's always been Persephone is Hades' wife.
See, I didn't know that. I don't know Greek mythology.
Did you not play God of War?
No. Like,
you never played any of the God of Wars?
Not until
the originals?
Not until 2018.
Man.
I played Chains of Olympus on the PSP. About half of it. And I actually tried to play God of War 1 on, like, the PS3, like, remaster. And, like, that game doesn't really play too well anymore. And this was in, like, 2013, like, this was at, like, the tail end of the PS3 when I finally tried it. And I'm like, this isn't fun.
Wow.
Yeah, so, like, I have no reference for any God of War before 2018.
So I can't remember if she was in it, but Hades, you wouldn't have met her until God of War 2 or 3. But, like, even, this is dumb. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. If you ever saw that, you meet Persephone. And it's just like, if you know anything about Greek mythology, you know that Hades' wife is Persephone. Persephone is kind of forced to be down there with him. She's married to him against her will. And that's why in Hades, she ends up leaving. She doesn't want to be down there. But Hades is not a bad guy. Yes, she's forced to marry him against her will because of Zeus. Zeus makes her do that. And Hades treats her with kindness and respect. The only reason Hades is always considered a god, or considered a bad guy, is because he's the god of the underworld.
I mean, I did know.
Hades is not a bad guy. You want to know the only bad guy, the true bad guy in Greek mythology?
It's Zeus.
Yes, Zeus is a fucking asshole.
Zeus and the Titans that came before him.
No, the Titans are the Titans. Like, Zeus is a bad guy. I'd have to read up more. I have to do some more research and listen to more podcasts about, like, how evil the Titans actually are. But, like, Zeus is the one who causes all the problems. Hercules is Zeus's half son, who his entire life is shit because Hera fucks with Hercules because she's mad at Zeus for fucking a woman.
Yeah, I mean that.
So yeah, Hera sucks.
I do know that Zeus is awful because, frankly, other than Disney stuff, Zeus is always portrayed as awful.
Yeah, but I mean, not like the Clash of the Titans, the newer versions.
Oh, I've never watched any of those.
It was Liam Neeson was Zeus, and I can't remember who played Hades. Like, he wasn't portrayed as a bad guy. Like, and even in like Percy Jackson, he's not portrayed as like a dick. He's portrayed as a king. You know,
I only ever saw the second Percy Jackson.
I never saw the second one. They're remaking those too.
Isn't it going to be a Disney Plus series?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't really know.
But I did see they were remaking them for Disney Plus, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, that second movie was fine. I didn't really know what was going on because I had only ever seen the second one.
You probably really didn't need to see the first one to know what's going on in the second one, except for the fact that he is Poseidon's son, and the girl is Athena's daughter, I think. I can't remember who the girl is related to.
That sounds
but yeah,
right.
You didn't really need to know anything from the first one because everything ends at the end of the first one.
But I guess I should say most comic books. So a lot of comics, like Marvel and DC, both have like the Greek pantheon. Mm-hmm. Which actually we didn't talk about last week, but like Zeus is in the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer.
Yeah, very briefly.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a lot of space in it.
Very brief. But yeah, so like those characters, like the Greek gods, exist in Marvel and DC, and like Zeus is generally kind of a douche in both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Zeus is an asshole.
Most of the Greek gods are portrayed as douches in both of them. Like, even Hercules, who is a hero, is oftentimes, like, not intentionally an asshole, but just, like, you know, an asshole.
If you want to hear, and I don't know who would want to hear a sad story, but if you ever want to hear a sad story, just try to find a podcast or anything that talks about the life of Hercules.
I mean, I know he, like, killed his whole family because of what, like, Hera or somebody did to him.
It's something like that. Like, he ends up, like, getting, he basically is entranced by her, or, like, drugged by her in a sense, and ends up, killing his entire family.
It's basically what Mysterio did to Wolverine when Wolverine slaughtered the X-Men in the Old Man Logan timeline.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like, and it's actually Heracles is how it's supposed to be pronounced. So the reason, and this is a whole another tangent, the reason his name was Heracles was because his mom felt bad for, like, having had Zeus cheated on Hera with her, that to honor Hera, she named him Heracles or Hercules. The story is that Hera took offense to this and was like, "Oh, she's shoving this in my face," and naming this child it. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, most of that stuff is. But I guess. Yeah. What's on the agenda tonight, Rich?
Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing going on, guys. We're just gonna be chatting for about an hour and a half or so. Like, there's probably some, like, Link to the Past stuff and some comics, and we watched 2 movies. I didn't get around to watching the third.
I was going to ask if you watched the third one.
I ended up, so Saturday, I watched the first one, and then played some Apex with my cousin, and then watched his stream that night, because he was dressed up as a Kool-Aid man, and then played more Apex with him Saturday night, and then Sunday I watched the second one after my other friend's stream got done, because she was having her 150th follower stream. And so if those 2 weren't this weekend back to back, I would have watched the third one.
And actually, speaking of streaming, you have something going on Friday, right?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Friday, starting around 6 or 6:30ish Eastern Time, come to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/b_walnuts. I will be doing Fancy Friday. We had a community challenge where we had to get 50,000 of my channel points, accumulated and donated to this. I don't actually get any money out of it, but it was just a thing to have my viewers do. I'm getting a haircut on Friday. I'm getting my beard cleaned up. I have my suits all ready and set to go. And I have some things planned. We're going to be playing some Octodad. It's going to be called Fancy Friday. And I'm wearing a suit on stream. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we're going to have dinner first. We're going to hang out and eat some sushi. Yes, ironic because we're playing Octodad. But we're going to have some sushi for dinner. Then we're going to play some Octodad, and depending on if we beat Octodad or not, I'm going to try to do open lobby Mario Kart if I can. If not, I'm probably going to do, Among Us with people, mostly with friends, and maybe some people who are viewing the stream. I want you to come and view the stream and hang out, and unfortunately, if you do come to view the stream and join in Among Us, I'm probably not going to have you on voice chat, but you can still type to us and let us know who you think is sus. Just don't cheat and watch my stream when I'm the killer.
There go your views.
Well, I mean, you can have me tabbed to the side, you can have the chat open, just not the stream itself. It still doesn't kill my views.
Can you?
Yeah, can
you pop chat out?
No, you can't pop chat out, so they would have to set up their monitor, or if they're playing on the monitor, or if they're playing on the PC, they'd have to set it up to where they can't see it, or just not look at the stream. It would be a level of trust, essentially. It would be a deep, deep level of trust if you're going to watch my stream and be in there and see that I'm the killer. Like, it's the trust system right there.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is just screen watch, and you'll always know when Richie is the killer.
Or who kills me. But yeah, absolutely. It's Friday, starting around 6 or 6:30. I think I want to start around 6. I also have, I'm going to be doing some giveaways, a couple of Amazon gift cards or Steam codes for games, it'll be your choice, depending on whatever you want to win. You have to be following and active in chat in order to win this stuff. And I have some, bit redemptions that you can do. Basically, I'm going to have 3 separate kinds of wine glasses, or at least glasses in general. A small, a medium, and a large, and if you hit the grow little bit redemption, which is only 5 bits, it's like 10 cents. I have to drink from a bigger glass. If you hit shrink, I have to drink from the smaller glass. Other rewards where you can tell me to take off part of the suit. So as the night goes on, whenever you're wearing a suit, you'll take off the jacket, then the tie, then loosen the button up top, and then the vest and whatnot. You can tell me to start taking that stuff off, or you can force me to put it all back on. It's just some of the silly things that we're going to have do, as well as I'm activating a new channel points redemption reward on Friday, which I will do in the suit if somebody redeems it. I think it's set to 2,000 points, where I have to play Ring Fit Adventure at the end of the stream.
Oh boy, in a suit?
It'll be in a suit. It won't be in the shoes. No, God, no. But, I'll probably have to, pull up the suit pants and stuff. We'll see how it goes. If I'm either too drunk or too wobbly in the suit to be able to play Ring Fit Adventure, I might get changed at least into basketball shorts, but still have everything else on to do it. We'll see how it goes.
And that's this Friday, April 29th.
Yes, this Friday, April 29th. Come check it out. Come follow me. I'm almost at 150 followers. I've reached 148 3 times now. Please come follow.
Time to go unfollow you.
Yeah, of course you would, you dick.
Yep. Let me just hang on a second. I have to load up Twitch.
Yep.
What's your name on Twitch?
It is at @1_quest.
Man, your SEO is terrible.
Why?
I had to type your whole name in before you showed up.
What, B_walnuts?
Yeah.
What in Twitch itself, or?
Yeah, in Twitch.
Well, that's just because Twitch's entire algorithm is terrible. It's terrible. The whole entire system is just bad.
There you go. Unfollowed.
You would've.
No, I didn't actually.
Like I have a friend who's live right now whose name is, well, it's because I follow him that he popped up so quickly. But if I tell you 10, like the word 10 underscore, the word crispy, let's see. Yeah, the word crispy underscore boys spelled BOIZ, it'll probably take you to almost the entire thing to be able to watch him. But it's also, he might pop up higher sooner because he's live, or I'm not live, so he might.
I mean, that's definitely the case. Like, live usually pops up sooner, but yeah, you're not wrong. Like, the Twitch algorithm is terrible. Like, I've searched like very popular streamers before, and they don't show up like right away.
Oh, your wife, apparently, according to her, subscribed via Amazon. I have not gotten a notification that she subscribed via Amazon, or that she even follows. So I don't know who she subscribed to via Amazon.
No, she was definitely watching your stream. I forget where we were. I think it was you were streaming Sunday, right?
Yeah, I was playing City Skylines.
Yeah. It was when we went up to that thing they were doing in Collingswood on Sunday. It was like it was like a mini Mayfair.
Okay.
And then we tried to get food in Collingswood, and that was a terrible fucking idea.
Mm-hmm.
So while we were waiting for a table at Treno, she had saw your like Facebook post and opened it up, and like I helped her sign into Amazon and all with it. I don't know what her Twitch username is though.
Yeah, I never got a notification that she subscribed, or that I don't know what her thing is, if she followed me in the past or not. But I know because when she texted me, she was like, "Hey, I gave you my Twitch Prime sub," and I was like, "Thank you." I didn't get a notification. Otherwise, I would have said it.
When we wrap up, I'll have her open the app and see if it, because like she has never done it before. Like, she didn't even have Amazon linked to her Twitch account, so it may have been one of those like she didn't hit like the final button to do it.
Yeah, I mean it's Twitch's whole system is terrible in general. Like, it took Anthony like 20 minutes to figure out how to connect his Amazon Prime to Twitch.
Well, that's Anthony.
Yeah, and they all were complaining about how terrible Twitch's interface is to that, and I'm like, yeah, because Twitch doesn't want you doing it. That's why. Twitch loses money for all of the Twitch Prime subs that people are using.
Yep. Because
they're not getting any money, so they're going to make it as hard as possible to connect all of this. Yeah, well, Twitch is shitty. I'm like, it's honestly probably more Amazon, but like, yeah, the Twitch system sucks, but it's because they don't want you to do it. And they kept like, oh, it's shitty though. I'm like, it probably is, but they just don't want you doing this. They want you to actually pay.
And even if you did actually pay though, like, the Twitch platform is not, like, the platform that it's built on is just not great. Like, they have not updated it properly, I feel. Cause like,
no, they
like,
haven't.
I can watch a YouTube stream. Like, if somebody is streaming something on YouTube in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that with Twitch.
Yes, you can. I'm doing it right now. I've got 2 streams up right now.
On your phone?
Oh, no, not on my phone. But when we were playing D&D on Friday, I had one up, and I was able to minimize that and just have it on the background. Like,
but when you minimize it, it shrinks it down.
Yeah.
No, so on YouTube, I can have a video play and turn my phone screen off.
Oh, that's because you subscribe to Google, though, don't you?
Yeah, but like there should be an option.
That's a Google. That's a Google thing.
I know, but there should be an option for that for Twitch, and there isn't. You just have to have it open and active in order for it to count or to play.
Yeah, but if you weren't paying for like your YouTube Premium or whatever, you wouldn't have that option either.
No, I know that, but Twitch doesn't have that option at all. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, probably not. I guess not. I've never tried it. But it's also that there's not often, like, Twitch is content you have to watch. YouTube isn't always content you have to watch.
Twitch has an entire category of just talking.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you're not viewing, then you're not a viewer.
Yeah, but you're still listening.
Like Twitch, it doesn't matter. And that's the thing. Like, I have them up, I have the 2 streams up in 2 separate windows, and I have it turned down to very minimal. I can still actually hear it going on in the background, because if I muted them, it takes away the vie.
That's
we
really
talked
stupid.
about this last week, I think. It is. Twitch is getting really cheap lately, and really, really anti-small streamer, because it's just like they don't want to help the small streamers. They don't want to help people get big. They want Ninja to run everything, and they don't care, or Critical Role, because they're the highest grossing channel on there. They want Critical Role to get all the money and fuck everyone else who's trying to make it in the industry. Basically, it's like Twitch sucks. It sucks, but it's the most widely used streaming service, so it just makes sense to use that over anything.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true.
Plus, if I had started with YouTube back when I started this, it would make more sense to go to YouTube, but to transition now at 150, if I had thousands of viewers to transition to YouTube, it would make sense, but to transition to YouTube at 150 when I'm just being monetized now, like, it doesn't make sense.
Just stream to both.
I mean, I could set that up, but that could potentially pull viewers from one to the other, and then lessen my numbers and make the monetization worse than better, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess. You just have to get better content is all.
Well, come join me, Fancy Friday. I'm wearing a suit. I'm probably going to play some Ring Fit Adventure because people are mean, and you're going to make me take off my suit and then put it back on, and then, yeah.
How much is it for you to play Ring Fit Adventure?
2,000 channel points, I believe.
And how much?
Which isn't a lot. That's not a lot, actually.
I don't know how channel points worth. Like how much money is that?
It's channel points are free. It's channel points you get from watching streams.
Oh, son of a bitch.
And so why?
Because if there was a monetary thing and it was reasonable, I would just do it to make you do Ring Fit on stream.
I mean, I can set up a $10 thing.
No, it's too late now.
No, I could definitely set that up as well, but here's the thing though, Cobb, if you had just watched me stream and had me on in the background, you'd have 2,000 points. Yeah, points are really easy to get.
But that's what we're talking about. Like, my computer is not in the living room. Like when we finish up tonight, I turn my computer off. Well, there's no way for me to watch it in the background.
Yeah, there is. You just open it up and then you go downstairs, and then before you go to bed, you turn your computer off.
Yeah, I don't do that because I'll just forget to do that. My computer will also go to sleep after 45 minutes.
I mean, my computer will go to sleep after 45 minutes if nothing's on. So, like, if I'm streaming or whatever, well, no, actually, even if, well, not streaming. If I'm watching streamers, it will go to sleep after, like, an hour or something like that. Just turn that off. Turn it off. Make it 3 hours.
I don't want to do that, though. Like, I want my computer to go to sleep when I'm not using it.
Or you could just watch my stream and give me some ad revenue.
I don't want to watch your streams, though. You don't play games I like. If you played like, I have tuned in when you were doing Mega Man. Like, I've brought it up on my phone and watched you play Mega Man, because I like Mega Man games. But, like, I'm not interested in watching Elden Ring streams. I'm not interested in watching, what's the city building game?
City Skylines.
Yeah, not interested in that at all. Like, there's one day a week you play games I like.
Here's the thing about Elden Ring. No one's interested in watching Elden Ring anymore.
That's fair.
Like, it's just been overplayed, and I still see, like, Gameranks talking about Elden Ring now. It's been, 2-3 months? I can't remember when that game fucking came out.
Just over a month.
But no, longer than that.
Oh, no, 2 months.
Bullshit.
I'm sorry, 2 months. It was the end of February, so just about 2 months.
Yeah. So that game's been out for 2 months, and we're still seeing, like, nerd gaming websites talking about it. Like, I played it on Monday, and I had a lot of viewers. I played it yesterday, and honestly, I never looked at my analytics from yesterday because it was just that bad. Yeah. It was that bad.
Like, unless you're one of the people with a huge following where people are just going to tune in regardless, like, yeah, you're not getting anything out of playing, like, a game like Elden Ring right now.
Yeah, so yesterday was my worst day in a while at 3 average view. I maxed out, let's see, stream summary, average viewers 3. Total viewers max at one point was 6, whereas the other day Monday I had 11. No one was talking, no one was coming. I got one new follower, but I also lost a follower yesterday.
It's because you kept streaming Elden Ring.
No, actually, bullshit. I got 2 new followers yesterday, but I lost one. But it's only showing that I got 1 new follower yesterday.
Oh, because you lost one, so it, like, evened out?
Yeah, it's evening out. And that's been the biggest struggle lately is, for some reason, I'm just losing 1 follower, like, a week. I'm gaining a follower a week, but I'm losing a follower a week.
Well,
I said, I'm at 148 for the 3rd time. It's ridiculous.
That is stupid. But if you would play more platformers, I'd probably actually check your streams out more often.
I played Hollow Knight.
I said platformer, not Metroidvania.
I played... It's a platformer. I played Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
I did watch a little bit of you playing Ori.
I will be next week, and over the next week or two, focusing a lot of time onto Elden Ring so I can just beat it, so I can play something else. Because I want to do Death's Door, I want to do a bunch of other games. I also want to get back into Pokemon, which I probably won't do. I'll probably just eventually just decide to play that by myself or something.
Yeah, like, if you were going to play, like, Mario, I'd watch that. But you're not going to, because you're not good and you hate them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not good and I hate the classic ones. Even the new ones, absolutely. Sure.
Oh, no, I meant the classic ones. Like Mario 1, 2, 3, World, Yoshi's Island. Japanese 2, not American 2.
See? How do you think the listeners feel that I can't even get my friend, quote friend, to come watch me stream? And I'm trying to ask them to come watch me stream.
You don't play games I like. Why would I watch you stream?
Because I'm your friend. That
has nothing to do with it, though. I'm not going to waste my time. There is other content I want to watch.
Like I said, you don't have to watch me stream. You just have to have me on in the background.
And, like, you know what? If my phone could play Twitch in the background and not be on, I would do it every night for you.
Would you?
I'd probably forget, like, at least most of the time, but the times I remembered. And hey, anytime I see one of your tweets, I retweet it.
Yeah, I do see that.
Like, I don't think I see them all, but anytime that I do see them, I retweet
it. Your retweets come an hour after I go to bed. Or no, like an hour into my stream, or like an hour after I'm done streaming sometime. Like, I've seen it where, like, you've retweeted, I'm like, it's 10:30. I'm about to call it. And he just retweeted. I'm not mad at it. It actually makes me laugh more than anything.
Yeah, like, it's just if I happen to open Twitter and I'm scrolling through and I see like any one of the places you post it pop up, I was like, okay, retweet.
Yeah, like I got raided by somebody yesterday. It was a 1-person raid, and like I didn't know that person was live at the time, and they raided me with 1 person, which you know what, a raid with 1 person is just that person. It's generally no one else, unless that person wasn't even watching their own stream. Then a raid with 1 person is literally just 1 person. But like, I was like, you know, I love raids with 1 person, with 5 people. They're all great. It makes me happy to see that people are trying to share my channel. Raiding means that you send your people to a new channel when you're done. So today I reached out to them. I was like, hey, I just want to make sure, did you raid me with 1 person yesterday? Because shortly after your raid, I was getting followed by people from a different channel, and I want to make sure there wasn't a screw up or whatever. And they're like, oh, it was us. Sorry. But yeah, there were more people. Twitch screwed up. I'm like, no, don't be sorry. I love getting raids, 1 person or 20 people. It's all great. I just wanted to give credit where credit's due. I thought maybe Twitch screwed up because Twitch's raids have been really wonky for the past like month or 2.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I actually, sorry, swallowed wrong. Two kind of funny raid stories real quick. So one podcast Patreon that I listen to is MinMax, and they do this thing called the Deepest Dive, where fairly regularly they like pick a game and they do very long, in-depth discussions on it, usually broken into multiple parts. Right now they're doing their deepest dive on Chrono Trigger. I think part 3 just came out. During part 2, they got raided by another Twitch because they've been doing the discussions on Twitch, and then releasing them as podcasts afterwards. And so they got raided by another Twitch while they're like an hour into spoiling like the middle part of this game. So like it happens, and like the host, like, he stops everybody. He's like, all right, hang on guys, hang on. We just got raided. Welcome. Appreciate it. It's great. We are in the middle of spoiling Chrono Cross. So maybe not the best time to start listening. But he's like, if you want to hear the rest of it though, here's our YouTube, here's our Patreon. And then apparently the chat was all just like, spoil us.
Yeah.
And then the other funny, well, not even funny raid things, but just sort of like wholesome, I guess would be a better word. Last year, I think it was, I forget the company, but some company partnered up with Alana Pierce, who she used to work for IGN. Now she's like a writer at Sony Santa Monica, and she streams and stuff too. And they partnered with her basically to donate money to people that were streaming for charity. I think it was for like Red Nose Day. So like a bunch of people, like she had basically been given a list of like streamers with like small user counts, and she was going in and donating like thousands of dollars at a time that like this company had like sponsored for. So like she went onto a stream where like the best one was and I actually ended up following the channel because I haven't watched them much since, but like they just had a very like fun like dynamic. They were streaming a pre-aired Pokemon themed Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And then like I guess like the guy who's like runs the stream was just kind of like watching in the background to like make sure everything was running. And so she goes in, she does the donation, their thing jumps up a few minutes later, and then like the stream pauses and cuts from the D&D thing to just the guy in his like home studio. Like, I don't know what just happened, but we just went from like 1 viewer to like 2,000 viewers, and we just got all this money. Like, what's going on? Like, just losing his mind. Like, calling up like the other people that do the stream with him and everything like that. It was very wholesome.
Yeah. I got rated once for like 40 or 50 people once. No, it was under 30. No, it was over 30. It was under 50. I got rated once for like 50 people. Close to 50 people. And it felt great, but no one followed me. And it felt so bad about it. And I think that was like, it was a raid bot or something like that. It wasn't really, because by the end of my stream, there was no one left.
And like some people, like as soon as the raid happens, if they're not already familiar with where they're going, they just kind of drop off immediately. Like they don't even really wait around to see. It's just like, okay, well your stream's over, so like I'm gonna just get going. The only time that I've ever noticed people stick around is if it's like somebody raiding somebody else that's like they're friendly with or that are in like a similar like demographic.
Yeah, and that's usually what you're supposed to do with raids, is raid somebody in the same game, same type of game, same kind of streamer and stuff like that. Like, I try to raid more variety streamers because I'm a variety streamer. I don't try to stick with like one genre. I try to, like, when it comes to raiding, like I try to spread the love, and anytime I get raided, I put that in the memory bank, and like, all right, I got to pay this person back at one point or another. But, like, I tend to stream so late that the people who are raiding me, I never get to raid. So when I try to force that a little bit sometimes by, like, if, for instance, when I was playing City Skylines this Sunday, I started early because they had their stream starting at, like, 5 or 6. So I started early because I wanted to raid into their stream. And I wanted to bring, like, part of my community there. But I ended up not getting great numbers that day, so...
And like that, because people are so used to seeing you stream at night.
Yeah.
Like, if you streamed, like, weekday afternoons, I'd totally open it up in, like, a tab and have it muted.
Yeah, and that's, like, I do want to try to start streaming on, like, the afternoons or even mornings on Sundays instead of specifically at night. Like, I want to move that around, just trying to see if, like, at least for a while to see how it'll mess with my analytics and view counts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
just to see if it's worthwhile.
Yeah, because you might just pick something up that you didn't know about before.
Yeah.
Or that didn't know about you before, I should say.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's say we move on. We've been talking about Twitch streaming for a while.
We've been talking about a lot of stuff for a while. Like we said, there's nothing going on today, so we can just move on.
Yeah, so this is like a quick little thing I just want to bring up. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past turned 30 this last week.
It turned 30?
Yeah.
Nice. It now knows the pain of owning a house. Because usually by 30 you're owning a house. Maybe.
I don't know.
No,
I mean, Link... Actually. I feel like Link kind of owned a house right away because, like, his uncle died.
Yeah, true. I mean, did he own the house, though? Or did like, eventually the Knights of Hyrule come and take it because he owed back taxes or some shit?
No, because, I mean, like, in that game, like you were stealing so many rupees from people, like, you could definitely afford to... Like, it was a little it wasn't even a one-bedroom, it was a one-room house. Like, your uncle didn't even have a bed.
The thing is, you're gonna get arrested then. Like, at the end of it all, yeah, you saved Hyrule, but how many pots did you smash? All the not plagiarism, what is it?
Vandalism?
Vandalism, that's it. I knew it was an idism.
But, like, you also helped that old man come to peace with the fact that his son is dead and in another world. You help mow the lawn. Like, The grass in that game grows like fucking crazy.
Yeah, it seems like every time you walk back, the grass is waist high. So, yeah, you do a little bit of service. So maybe like that'll help with like community service, and same with like saving the realm. But you still like you stole a lot of money. You broke a lot of pots. You went into like ancient ruins and like stole shit out of them.
Well, I mean,
like,
you were told to do that by the sage.
But is the sage like an actual like head of state? Do they have any right to tell you to do that?
Maybe. I mean,
so you don't know.
I mean, where did Agamemnon? No, that's not right. Is it right?
I don't know.
The wizard.
You're trying to talk about
the wizard. I mean, he had no real say on it in anything.
The wizard from.
Have you ever played A Link to the Past?
No.
I didn't think so, but I couldn't remember.
No, I've never played Link to the Past. I know it's a travesty and a tragedy, and it was going to be one of the games that were on the list of Zelda games to play when I started going through all the Zelda games. Because I did Legend of Zelda 1 and 2 on the NES emulator, but I just never did Link to the Past.
You should play Link to the Past. It's not that long. I'd say maybe 3 streams if you were going to stream it.
I mean, it's on the list, and I'll get to it eventually. It's just not.
It is the quintessential Zelda game.
Trust me, I know. People say it's the greatest Zelda game of all time, even though they haven't played other Zelda games.
I have at least touched every other Zelda game. It is the best Zelda game, except for the 3DO one. I never played like the Zelda adventure games on the 3DO.
Is that the one that's like the show? And it's like, excuse me, princess.
Yeah, and like there was that, and then there were like the satellite download games that were like Japan only that I also never played. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously going to be games you're not going to have had played. Like it's the same with me and Mega Man. Like Mega Man 11 actually just went on sale, so I'm going to end up buying that. But I'll be able to say that I played all the core Mega Man games, but there's obviously going to be games that I did not play. Mega Man Soccer, Mega Man and Base, because they're not available right now unless I get an emulator.
Mega Man Legends?
I did play Mega Man Legends back in the day, but not since streaming.
No, actually, here's a quick question about old games. So you're playing through like the core Mega Man. Are you going to X after that?
Yes.
Are you going to try and do Battle Network?
If I can find an emulator for it.
Oh, I'm sure you can. They were Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah, because they're not available anywhere. So that's my goal, is to get through Mega Man, then the X games, then try to find ROMs for Legends, Legends 2, and then the BattleNet games.
Okay.
And do them all in order. I need to find the ROMs. I have an emulator. I need to find the ROMs for the BattleNet games and for the Legends games. But like I'll probably do the Legends games first, and then maybe occasionally like I'll do one BattleNet game every like couple of months, because they're like longer format RPG type games. So like sticking to like it would end up being the new Elden Ring for me with those. Like
they're not short.
I'd have to either play them straight through like nonstop every day, or like it'll take me months to beat them each time. So we'll see how that goes. And Mega Man Legends and Legends 2 are kind of similar. That would probably more so be less of a RPG and maybe more of a Metroidvania type game, I think, but it's still very much an RPG and a long format game.
Yeah.
Like even the ZX game is on the ZX Legacy, or is on sale. So it's the Mega Man Zero Legacy is on sale right now too. So
nice. Also,
I'll probably get them.
We saw Papa over the weekend. He was very disappointed when I told him you didn't realize that Inti made Mega Man 9.
Yeah. I mean, Papa wasn't working at Inti at the time anyway, so.
No, he was still disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, he can come to my stream and reach out to me and talk to me about it.
No, because you stream while he's working.
And I mean, I haven't seen him streaming in a while, but he's come by before.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. I mean, he's come by to say, hey, how are you? Come check out my stream, and then leave. But he's come by before.
Yeah, so you figure when you're streaming from 6 to 10-ish, right?
Yeah, it's generally 6 or 7 to 10.
So that's like 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. for him?
Yeah.
So, but...
Oh, whenever he streams, I try to throw him on in the background.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah. But I'll say hi and whatnot and try to have him on in the background, but yeah.
But yeah, so Link to the Past is 30. Like I said, it's definitely my favorite Zelda game. I don't know if it's necessarily the best Zelda game. Because, like, there have been a lot of very good Zelda games, but it is the Zelda game that defines the genre. Or the franchise, I should say. Like, every Zelda game since then has taken some sort of cue from A Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to another podcast where the reason I realized it turned 30 is because they kind of did like a discussion on it turning 30. And apparently, like, there was a ton of stuff in that game that they ended up not being able to do just because of, like, constraints on, like, what they could fit on the cartridge. Like, I guess they actually upped the memory that was on the cartridge to begin with. But they could still only use, like, a limited palette of colors, because if they use any more colors, it would take up more space that they didn't have. And I guess one of the things they wanted to have in there was the ability to actually have, like, environmental destruction, essentially, and, like, have it be chained together. So being able to, say, light, like, the grass on fire or a bush on fire and have it actually carry, like, across, like, a field.
Yeah.
Or being able to, like, blow up a wall and have, like, it redirect, like, the flow of a river.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stuff like that. And, like, some of that stuff you ended up kind of being able to do in later Zelda games.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I know, like, I guess Miyamoto actually talked that he wanted to have actual, like, multiple characters that you could, like, play with in the game. So, like, it wouldn't necessarily be just Link on the adventure. Like, almost making it into, like, an RPG. Where, like, other characters would have, like, other skills to assist you.
Yeah.
Which,
okay.
You know, that some of that stuff kind of happened in later games. Like, where you'd get, like, Navi in Ocarina of Time who would, like, point things out for you in an annoying fashion. Or, I can't think of her name. Like, the weird little, like, witch creature from Twilight Princess, Nina? Midna. So, yeah, you know, stuff like that. Or the boat. The King of Red Lions in Wind Waker.
Yeah, oh man. I want to play Wind Waker. I never actually beat Wind Waker. I barely played it.
Like, Wind Waker's definitely one of the top in the franchise, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they would... Like, I'm waiting for them to actually put the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remasters they did on Wii U over, because that's, like, the last remaining Wii U games they haven't, like, first party that they haven't ported yet.
Yeah. I'm shocked I haven't done that yet, but it's Nintendo. They're lazy.
I mean, they like, considering how they've done all the other ports, like, all the work's already done in this one. They literally just have to put, like, drag the file into the Switch eShop instead of the Wii U eShop.
I mean, let's see. You said Link to the Past turned 30, which means they're probably going to do something special. Or at least 30 in North America, which is probably, like...
It was, like, last year, was 30th in Japan.
They're probably, like, you know how we have the Mario 3D All-Stars? They're probably going to do, like, a Legend of Zelda GameCube Switch All-Stars or something. Which is just all the fucking... Which is what 3D All-Stars is anyway. But, like... They're probably going to do something like that and put it all in a thing and make it, what's it called? Limited releases and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, but they also haven't mentioned anything like that yet.
True.
But yeah, Zelda turned 30. What was the next thing on this list? Oh, comic books are a thing, right?
Are they? Like, do you actually have them?
I mean, I do.
Okay. So, I guess they're...
So, like, this is nothing specific, but I just want to say that Tom Taylor, he's a writer, he writes comics. He's writing some of the best fucking comics out there right now.
Does he write comics about renovating houses?
I mean, if you tried hard enough, yes.
And does he go, oh?
Oh, I fucking hate you. I said Tom Taylor.
I know. I wanted to do it. You know me.
Oh, man, I saw... Fuck, I don't remember what... This was a U pun. And, like, this is getting away from comics. Somebody posted it on, like, a random Facebook group. It was D&D related, though, which made it even more U. And they were talking about a barbarian who wanted to, like, be a spellcaster or something like that. I forget the exact setup. But they carried a frying pan around. And the DM said it was their spell focus. And so every time they would use it, they would yell cast iron.
Okay, they cast iron because it's a cast iron pan.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
It was. I read it. I'm just like, that's a Richie pun.
Look, I don't really like puns, but just I do them sometimes. Sometimes I'm good at them. Sometimes I'm bad at them.
I mean, that
Usually I'm bad at them.
that was a bad one, and which is why it was very much a you pun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tom Taylor, right now, he is currently writing Nightwing and Superman Son of Kal-El, which are probably the two best books that, like, DC, like, superhero stuff is putting out right now. Superman Son of Kal-El is the one that I had sent you that random page for, like, a month ago, of the guy headbutting Superman, and then Nightwing in the background being like, who headbutts Superman?
Right, yeah.
And yeah, it's just, he writes these, like, he writes stuff like that, where, like, they're these, like, kind of, like, offbeat scenes. They're not, like, these big bombastic things. But then, like, he'll turn around and he will, like, I think the issue before that, and this is John Kent Superman, because Clark Kent Superman is off in space. The one before that was him, like, trying to fight back a giant, like, sea creature that was, like, about to destroy Metropolis. So, like,
Yeah.
you know, he bounces back and forth from it, but he also, like, hits these, like, really good, like, emotional payoffs all of the goddamn time. Like, in Nightwing, I want to say it was, like, 2 or 3 issues ago, Nightwing, as Dick Grayson, he is very rich right now because, Alfred died a while back. And Alfred left Dick basically all of his money. And apparently Alfred was fucking loaded.
Well, I mean, it makes sense that he was loaded, though. Like,
oh, yeah. No, like,
he hasn't had to spend his own money in years. He probably spent all of Bruce's.
Yeah, so Alfred left all of his money to Dick. And Dick turned around and decided to, like, use that money to improve Bloodhaven, which is where he's been based out of pretty much forever.
You realize you just said Alfred left all his money to Dick.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his name.
That's I know. That's all. That's all.
But so because of that, Dick Grayson has, like, a bounty on him. Like, like, people, the criminal underbelly that runs Bloodhaven wants him dead because they have different plans for Bloodhaven. They want it to stay kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So, like, all these, like, literally a bunch, and no one knows he's Nightwing, because, you know, secret identities. And there's just a bunch of, like, kind of, like, basic-ass contract killers out there, like, trying to, like, kill him. And all of the Teen Titans show up to, like, stop them. And it's just one of those, like, you don't expect it to happen, because, like, none of them have been in the book before. But then it's just like, oh, yeah, right, they're all friends. Like, they're going to show up and save their friend.
Yeah.
And then, like, 2 issues later, somebody blows up his apartment building, and he manages to make it out, and he manages to like, evacuate the building first. But when it happens, Wally West shows up, the Flash. I mean, you know him. And they've been friends since they were children, because, you know, they were Robin and Kid Flash.
Yeah.
And, like, Wally was completely heartbroken because he thought Dick died in the building collapse because no one could find him. And then, like, immediately, like, when he did find him and found out he was okay, like, didn't even give him an option, just immediately took him to his home, to his wife and children, and was like, you're gonna stay here now, bye, and then, like, took off again to go do something else. Yeah. But, like, the best part about the end of that issue, some other stuff happens, they confront a villain, and the villain turns out to be KG Beast, who he's another, like assassin for hire, like, but, like, you know, goes after some of the superhero sort of assassin for hire guys.
Is he from Russia?
He absolutely is.
Okay.
He's
okay.
In recent years, he's kind of a joke, because a few years back, he's the one that shot Nightwing in the head and nearly killed him.
Yeah.
So after he did that, Batman hunted him down and beat him and left him, like, bleeding out in the snow. And then he's back, and when Nightwing and Flash jump out of the back of this van and they see it's KG Beast, before Dick can even do anything, Wally just bum rushes him and just beats him to a pulp. Just because of what he did to Dick, like, 2 years prior.
Yeah.
And, like, you don't get a lot of that in other comics. Like, you don't, like, there's plenty of, like, team-ups and stuff like that, but, like, you don't get a lot of that, like, the relationships actually having mattered at some point. And, like, it's just nice to see that stuff, because, like, you get it on, like, the CW shows all the time. Maybe not anymore, because, like, half those shows have been canceled, and, like, they're not really, they're not doing crossovers like they were because of COVID. But, yeah, like, you know, like, in, like, all the crossovers, like, they would all get together, and there'd be that, like, oh, yeah, like, they're all friends. Like, they've been through shit together, and, like, like Oliver was willing to give up his life to make sure that Barry and Kara survive, sort of thing. And like it's nice to see like a writer in comics actually like play with that and like use the fact that these characters have been like friends and stuff like that for 60 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all. Tom Taylor's really good at writing comics. He also wrote like the best Wolverine comic in the last like decade. He's not writing it anymore, but he did.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice to get that like pseudo crossover type stuff in comics and whatnot, just to like reinforce it. Like it is all connected, and it's not like one world. It's not like 30 separate worlds.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't, other than like the team up books, you don't get a lot of them. Like Batman characters will always pop up in the Batman books. Like Oracle's always going to have like a scene in a book and stuff like that. But, like, Nightwing's not in every issue of Batman, and, I mean, neither is, like, Robin. Like, right now there technically isn't a Robin, but regardless. And even, like, Superman books, like, even when it was Clark on as Superman, like, John wasn't necessarily in every issue, Kara isn't in every issue, like, they kind of just pop up when, like, the story deems it, because, like, in theory, they're all living their lives separately, like, doing what they do. But, like...
Yeah.
It's nice for a book like this where, like, it's just kind of happening seamlessly. It's not like this, like, team up necessarily. Like, it's literally like Wally was worried about his friend and went to go check on his friend. And then it just happened to be that, like, having the guy with super speed is going to help the situation.
Yeah. That's you'd think there'd be a lot less crime in the world if everyone had super speed.
Like,
everyone does have fucking super speed.
Yeah, there are
so many speedsters.
So many.
Like, it blows my mind. It's even in, like, The Flash, because there's the Flash, then there was Wally, he's not a speedster anymore, he might have gotten his speed force back, I don't know. But then there's his two kids, like, just there's 4. But, like, Superman is also technically a speedster. Like, he's super fast. Same with Supergirl, same with Superboy, like, all super fast. How is there crime?
Yeah. Yeah, like and exactly that. Like all of your Kryptonian origin characters all have super speed. And then I think what's the Flash up to now? So Barry isn't around right now. I forget what he's doing, but Barry's not. It's the Flash is not Barry right now. It's Wally. But even then, so like in DC Alive, you've got Barry and Wally. You've got Wallace because they didn't know how to fucking fix that one. Then you've got Wally's 2 kids, who they've retconned back into continuity. You've got...
sure Jay Garrick is part of it as well.
Well, right? Yeah. So Jay is still around. You've got Bart is floating around somewhere, too, which Bart... I don't think Bart is Barry's child. Like, it's not Barry's future kid. It's, like, his future, like, great-grandson or something like that. But still, like he's, like, a future relative that has traveled back in time. So, like... There's a lot of them, and then there's, like, all the ones that aren't directly related to, like, Barry or Wally. There's, like, have you been watching The Flash this season?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I wish it hasn't been on hiatus the past 2 weeks, but I have.
I am incredibly behind again. I think I watched up to the episode where he revealed his identity to the new captain, and she's just like, I fucking figured it out. I'm a cop. Like,
yes, she's like, I knew it already. Like, there's no way you would have been able to get out of that thing. Like, I'm not an idiot.
But the episode where his kids had come back to like the year before he became the Flash, the girl that they meet who is into like time travel stuff. Like, it's like a brief scene. She's going to be a speedster, and she is a speedster in the comics.
Okay.
And, like, so, like, there's stuff like that. Like, these people that are, like, tangentially related because, like, they have the speed force, but they're not, like, the offspring or directly related to, like, Barry Allen's, like, family.
Yeah, it's just, there's so many speedsters. It blows my mind. Like, why would you do any sort of crime when, like, this really fast person can get here at the drop of a dime and stop everything. It's ridiculous how many speedsters. Like, even in Marvel, there's a bunch of speedsters.
There aren't as many, and there aren't as many that are like the speedsters the way the DC, like, that seems to be DC's go-to. Oh, there's superhero, they need superpower, they're fucking fast.
Yeah. Like Marvel, like they have Quicksilver, And honestly, that's really the only one I know, but like...
So there's Quicksilver and North Star, and I can't think of her name, but North Star's sister. Yeah, cannot think of her name. And like there are others that I'm just drawing a blank on too.
I mean, Marvel's go-to is seemingly stretching and body mod, because like you have Mr. Fantastic, you have Kamala Khan.
That's it though. DC has DC has a whole fucking group of those too. They have the Plastic Man and the Elongated Man.
Elongated Man, Rubber Band Man, Plastic Man. Yeah, I think Rubber Band Man's still a thing. He was in Static Shock in the cartoons, so he's.
I think he's a villain
legit.
though.
Yeah, he was a villain. But still, like, it's just there's no original ideas in DC.
No, I mean, like, the thing is, like, DC had all of the original ideas, and they just keep reusing them. And, like, they do have, like, some, like, of course I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but they have had, like, some cool, like, ideas for, like, characters and powers and stuff like that for, like, somewhat, like, new characters. Mm-hmm. And I'm drawing so, like, there's, Naomi, who, there's a CW show for her now. In the comics, like, they're basically setting her up where she is on par with Superman for power, but does not have any issue with magic. Like, apparently her power actually amplifies magic.
Wait, that's a DC show?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Like, literally, in the first episode, she asks the guy if he can introduce her to Superman.
I never watched it.
Well, that's your fucking fault, dude.
I've only seen... Well, no, like, I'm more of, like, I didn't know that they added another DC show, because I haven't paid attention to it. I didn't really watch it last season, or watch anything last season. And, like, I get commercials for it all the time watching the new episodes. But I didn't know that was a DC show. Yeah,
and it is in its first season. I think it just wrapped up its first season. But yeah, that's...
So is it, like... And you're watching it, you said?
I've only watched, like, the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I watched them, like, back in the fall. They have not directly linked it to any of the other shows yet. But, like, they also haven't really linked fucking Superman and Lois to any of the shows again yet.
No, they linked... Diggle was in the end of last season.
Yeah, and that was it.
That's linked. That's enough.
But,
because, like, Diggle wasn't in Stargirl. Like...
No, and we know that Stargirl's on another world, yeah.
But that was going to be my next question. Like, is it like Stargirl, or is it like the rest? Like, is it Earth Prime, or is it Earth whatever Stargirl would be?
And that's just the one thing that we don't know, because at least up to what I've seen, because they've made reference to things like Superman, but we have yet. And I think actually, I think one of the characters might be Thangaren, like Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Okay.
But I might be wrong about that. I might just be making that up. But, like, so, like, they've made references to things that exist in other CW shows, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is on that planet, or that Earth. So.
I'll have to check that show out. I did not realize that was a DC show, at all.
And she's a very new character. She only debuted in the last, like, 3 or 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was created, Brian Bendis, when he went over to DC. I think that might be the first character he made for DC.
Mm-hmm.
He worked for Marvel for 20 plus years. Like, he created Miles Morales, or
okay.
co-created.
The entire series is on CW's website, so
oh, nice.
I can watch it. It's probably, since it's a new show, they probably are allowed to keep it on there. Same with Superman and Lois, because it's part of the HBO app.
True,
part of HBO app and not Netflix.
Yeah, that is probably true. Do you want to move on and talk about some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, we did book club. We did TMNT 1 and not TMNT. We did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
2, The Secret of the Ooze.
2, The Secret of the... I wanted to just say The Legend of the Ooze, but yeah, 2, The Secret of the Ooze. And
from 1990 and 1991.
My initial thought of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 is, man, this movie's very 80s.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, and very dark.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
That movie was way darker. Like, I've watched that one in the last, like, 5 or 6 years, I want to say. Maybe a little bit longer. But, like, every time I watch that, I'm just like, man, this is so dark for, like, coming out after the cartoon, which was so different and, like, so popular with kids. I'm like, the first one really isn't, like, a super kids movie.
No, it's not, and that kind of blew my mind a little bit. Is like it was darker. It was more of a serious tone, and like I watched Turtles 2 more than I watched Turtles 1 when I was a kid. 100% watched Turtles 2 a lot more than I watched Turtles 1, and like there were scenes that I remembered, and there were scenes that like I was like, oh, I thought this was Turtles 2 or whatever. But they're both still they both still kind of hold up. Like, the animatronics is done really well. I believe that was Jim Henson that did it.
It was the Henson Workshop at the very least, because in the second one at the beginning, it actually had in memory of Jim Henson, because he died in 91, I believe.
Yeah, so like they hold up. They're like, it's still a little goofy how they talk and whatever, but like it's a suit. It's a mascot suit. It's gonna be weird. But I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them very much. It's just, they're weird though, but they're good.
Yeah, and I was looking up some of like the cast and all. So I found out Michelangelo, his voice is the English voice actor for Choji from Naruto.
Oh, nice.
And then, do you know who Splinter's puppeteer and voice actor is?
Yeah, I looked these up, but I didn't actually care to research them. I looked them up to see if they were anybody I knew, but I didn't care to look deeper into it. So I did look it up, but I don't know who it is.
It's Kevin Clash, the original voice puppeteer of Elmo.
like the deep voice Elmo, or the high pitched voice Elmo.
I thought there was only ever a high pitched voice Elmo.
No, you don't know this. So Elmo's voice initially was a deeper voice, and he also wasn't a symbol for autism back in the day. He was just a puppet, and he had a deep, sexy man voice like that. And then eventually they changed it, and he got the "Hi, I'm Elmo" voice. You gotta look it up. It's so weird.
So he voiced Elmo from 1980 to 2012. So he did all of them, but then also did fucking Splinter.
Clash this job. Oh boy. He resigned because of sexual allegations of improper sexual relations with minors.
Ooh, didn't realize that.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Because I googled Elmo deep voice, and the first thing, it was one of the drop downs is why did the voice of Elmo change? But yeah, anyway,
he has voiced Elmo since. Oh no, that was 2012, 2013. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that was after all that happened is when he stopped doing Elmo.
Yeah, he resigned around then. But yeah, Turtles itself, that's interesting, to see that, that was Elmo, that Master Splinter was Elmo. That's pretty cool. When you go back and watch shows and movies that are from the 80s and the late 80s, early 90s, especially movies where, when you think about it, Ninja Turtles, Master Splinter can be can be looked at as potentially problematic.
Oh, yeah.
But, I think they, even in, the 80s style, even to today's standards, I think they handled him well. I don't think he was problematic. I don't think there should be an issue looked at with his portrayal.
Yeah, I could definitely see where somebody could complain that, the way his voice is portrayed is stereotypical. Mm-hmm. But he's also a fucking, he's literally a rat. It's not like the cartoon where, in the cartoon, Hamato Yoshi got doused with the mutagen and then became a rat. He's actually a rat. He grew from a little fucking rat into a human-sized rat.
Yeah. And, he has the accent and picked up how the talk because his owner was, a ninja. It was Chinese, I guess.
They were Japanese, and his owner is Hamato Yoshi. So in these movies, Splinter is not Hamato Yoshi. He is just Splinter. His human master was Hamato Yoshi.
Yeah, who was a foe of Oroku Saki, who was Shredder.
Yeah.
But are there any ridiculous moments you can think of from Turtles 1?
What do you mean by ridiculous?
So, we'll push forward to Turtles 2, and it's the very end, Super Shredder. The Ooze mutated Shredder's fucking clothes.
Oh yeah, no, I pointed that out to Erica. I'm like, this is because there were a few, because she actually watched both of them with me. But there were a couple things where like she mentioned like seeming like unrealistic. Particularly and unrealistic in the sense that like if this sort of thing could happen, it shouldn't be the way it is. But she was pointing out that Toka and Razor, like if one was a wolf and one was a turtle, like the wolf should be bigger. And I forgot until the very end that like when they do get shrunk down, like one's a puppy and the other one is actually like a full grown snapping turtle. So like it's a little different. But I pointed that out like when Kevin Nash shows up at the end and he has more spikes and larger spikes and his suit grew to fit him. I'm like, that's not how no.
Yeah, it made like I was watching this. I'm watching it, and I'm like, when's Super Shredder gonna come into play? How does he get the ooze? Like I couldn't remember any of that, and it gets into it, and he just falls into the water and whatever, and then he pops out and he's Super Shredder. I'm like, everything. I don't remember this. I don't remember the fact that everything changed. Like I for some reason I either forgot that Shredder was in the concert, or I just forgot that everything changed after the concert. Like, I thought maybe he showed up as Super Shredder.
No, so
I guess this is like where my memory was.
And I remembered that whole scene. Like, I remembered Kino running in and doing like his little flip onto the stage and kicking the mutagen away. Like, I remembered all of that. I remembered Shredder getting blasted out of the window, and I remembered Super Shredder. Did not remember how different he looked compared to regular Shredder.
Yeah, and it made me laugh so much. Like how did this organic ooze that mutates organic things change a fucking spike pauldron? Like, the fuck is this? But like that's where I was getting at, like any ridiculous things that like happened in Turtles 1, and like the number one thing is like, how did Shredder get crushed and still survive? But also, what is the timeline of these movies? Are they like a few weeks apart?
They have to be very close together because you figure the Turtles are still living with April.
Yeah.
Shredder like just got out of the dumpster, and I feel like there was something else too.
They're talking about how like when they meet up, it has to be like the next day, if not 2 days later, because when the Foot are meeting up at the junkyard, they're saying like, oh, everyone else must have gotten arrested or had been arrested, but all that made it back or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's within a week or two, because you figure in this time, like April has a new apartment, a fully furnished apartment.
The new fully furnished apartment, whatever, like that is what it is. It's not like oh, that's right, because her apartment got burnt down.
Yeah, I mean, she also became a totally different person. That's beside the point.
Yeah, she changed. But like that's the other thing, though. If you think about it, you can't. Actually, I don't know how it is in the 80s, but finding an apartment off of a news reporter's salary, like you can't find an apartment like that off a news reporter's salary within a week.
This was 30 years ago, and she was the best news reporter.
She was the best on-site reporter. I love how they had to like distinguish it. Like, I'm the best field reporter, which is like, okay, sure. Like, you're not an investigative journalist or anything. You're like, her job, according to my understanding of news and news reporting, her job, she's the person in the morning shows who goes and does the skiing squirrel shit.
No, like she was always going to like the press conferences from like the police commissioner and like grilling him with questions and shit.
Yeah, like that's her job as well. But like they never called her an investigative journalist. She was a field reporter, which is just, it made me laugh. Like the distinguish between investigation and field are two separate areas of journalism.
So the two things that I found ridiculous in the first movie, these are not as ridiculous as the Super Shredder thing. They're New Yorkers and they order Domino's pizza.
That might have been, well, not might have. It's definitely for advertising. 100%.
100%.
100%.
Second movie though, they're ordering from a New York City pizza place.
Yeah.
And every slice of pizza you see in the opening part of that of the second movie is all like New York slices, not fucking Domino's.
Yeah. Not Domino's.
And then, oh god, what was near the end of the movie when they come back to the city and they're in the sewer again, and the foot shows up, like half the foot soldiers fucking decide the most effective way to get into the sewer is to slide in the fucking drain.
Yeah.
And then to also crawl back out of that same drain.
So my memory had it, I could have swore that scene was always reversed. Like when they were climbing out of the drain, or when they would climb in the drain was the reverse of them climbing out, so they only had to do that once. Like, that's where my memory had me. Like, I always thought, like, when they
like
climbed...
they played it in reverse, basically?
Yeah, so when they climbed in feet first, and then when they climbed out head first. So it was like, they just played it in reverse to save money.
But no, those motherfuckers dove head first into it and then climbed back out.
Yeah. and that was amazing. I loved it. I loved it so much. I will say that Turtles 2 was missing Casey Jones.
Oh yeah, like the fact that Casey doesn't show up again until 3 and he has a very bit part in it is a fucking travesty.
Yeah. Oh. Like I don't know why they didn't have Casey in the sequel. I wish I knew why. Well, I'm sure I could Google it and figure it out. But...
Yeah, I know from what I read, the original actress that played April, they apparently didn't invite her back because she was difficult on set. And that was from, like, that's what she said. She said that apparently that she was not invited back because she complained too much about, like, how, like strict and fast production was.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But, like, that's what she said was the reason why she didn't get brought in for the second one. And, like, I liked the April in the first one. And, like, the actress they had for the second one, like, did a totally fine job. I feel like she didn't have as much to do, though. Like,
yeah.
She was definitely like a backseat character in the sequel, whereas she was like prominent throughout the entire first one. I'm trying to think if there were any other just like stupid things in the first one, like, but no, that one was as realistic as you can be when you're dealing with 4 human-sized turtles and 1 human-sized rat that all know karate. I mean, there is the fact that like 2 of the turtles use absolutely deadly weapons with blades, and they never actually use them in fights.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever look, like, Leonardo will have his swords out occasionally, and, like, the one scene that always springs to mind is there's the scene where he is slashing at the foot soldier during the apartment fight, and, like, the soldier keeps ducking and he keeps missing and then coming back and missing, and at the last instance, he, like, fakes them and, like, doesn't actually swing, and, like, the guy, like, ducks and comes back up, and he could... Had this been any other movie, he would have just killed him. But instead, he goes, gotcha, and then stuck his swords into the ceiling. Somehow, they were in there tight enough that he was able to pull himself up and kick the guy.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it. Like, while the movie was darker than, like, we would think of for a kid's movie, it was still, like, a movie, like, I want to say it was PG or PG-13. Like, they weren't going to have these things, like, straight up murdering people.
Yeah, there's a reason in the games and in the cartoons they're always fighting robots or aliens. They're not going to They're not going to murder humans. So according to Screen Rant, there were a lot of complaints in the first movie that Casey was a bad role model for using everyday sports equipment to beat up thugs. They also complained that his hockey mask costume scared children. When he returned in the third movie, he was severely toned down and didn't wear a mask or use his weapons at all. So, a movie about ninjas using swords and sais and bow staffs and friggin' nunchucks. But the guy who wore a ski mask and used a hockey stick was too...
And that's him in the fucking cartoon. Like, there is more... I mean, look, it's been 30 years since I've watched that cartoon, but I feel like he was in enough of the cartoon that... Like, way more than he wore that mask and had his bag of sports equipment more in the cartoon than he did in the movie. Like, he only wore the mask at the beginning and, like, took it off as soon as him and Raph started fighting. And then after, I don't think he had the bag with him when he came to help them during the apartment thrift store fight. I think he just had, like, a goalie stick with him. Mm-hmm. And then after that, like, he doesn't have anything. Like, he finds a golf club to, take out Tatsu, which, man, that guy, what a fucking chump he is. Like, all Mr. Big and Tough punching fucking kids in the face. In the first movie, 1 golf club hit, he's fucking done. In the second movie, he just kind of gets backed into by the turtles and, like, passes out. It's like, dude, you are the weakest motherfucker in the entire thing.
So, I didn't actually realize this. The Turtles didn't really use their weapons in Turtles 2.
No.
Because of complaints from the amount of weapon use in Turtles 1, they weren't allowed to use their weapons in Turtles 2 in production. Screen Rant has a top 16 things you didn't know about Turtles 2. Like, apparently Michelangelo was censored in Europe.
For what?
I'm trying to find it. One of the hottest points of contention was Michelangelo's nunchucks. Throughout the European version of the cartoon, Mikey's famous weapons were edited out.
Oh, the
Eventually
cartoon.
led him to... well, no, this is for the movie, though. Like, this is even in the movie. In the second movie in the UK took issue with the scene in which Mikey used chain links of sausage as nunchucks, and they felt it was too close to a real thing. The scene was completely edited out in the European cut of the movie. So, apparently you're not allowed to have nunchucks at all in
nunchucks are illegal in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Which is funny, like, swords aren't. Like, you can own swords, but, like, it's actually illegal to own nunchucks in certain places.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you pay attention to that first fight at the beginning of 2, we're in, like, that underground mall thing, none of them even have their weapons with them. All of their weapon holsters are empty.
I mean, well, like you said, you had Leonardo who used his swords to push up.
No,
and then
that's
people.
That's the apartment fight.
I thought that was in the
that's in the apartment fight. That's when they're fighting in the first one. He did not have his swords in the underground fight.
I could have swore that was the underground fight.
Let's I'm gonna see if I can bring it up on Netflix real quick.
Here's another one. Kino was a stuntman from the original movie.
Donatello's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did know. I saw that because I was looking up how old Ernie Reyes was, like, in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The original. Oh nope, I want to do 2. 2 is gonna be way easier to find it. Come on, Netflix. Let's see. Okay, so Raph does have his size.
Mm-hmm.
Donatello has his bow. They never take them out, though. Michelangelo does not have his nunchucks. And I wonder if that's because nunchucks are illegal. Like, Michelangelo's, like, holster is empty.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen Leonardo yet. Oh, shit. So in the background, so I'm looking, the scene where Raph dumps Kino into the trash can, Leonardo does have his swords out in the background.
Yeah. He butts him with the he doesn't, obviously it doesn't slash, he doesn't try to cut or anything. He hits him with the butt end, with the handle and shit. But, like, he doesn't actually use them because it's too violent. Like, that is where he does the throws it up into the wall and does the kick.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find that. And, like, here's the sausage scene. Like, I can find every other scene but one with Leo fighting.
Mm-hmm. I'd look it up, but I have a lot of tabs open right now.
Okay, so yeah, you know what? You are 100% right. The scene with the, so he must have done that sword thing twice, maybe? Because, yeah, so in this one, so there is the scene where he's fighting the Foot Clan in the first one, where he swipes at them with both swords and they duck and, like, they just keep going back and forth. But then in this one, it's just, like, these random thugs in that mall thing, and he does, like, a little spin with his swords, and then throws them into the ceiling and doesn't even kick them, actually moves out of the way so that they hit each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, like, they don't use their weapons a whole lot. Like, I don't think they use them at all against Toka and Razor.
No, they don't. Not at all. It's like, the sequel, the second one was just super gimmicky and super campy because, like, they were able to get away with it in the first one, but then they got, like, the big bucks and the bigger budget, but they also had the more eyes on it that they had to, like, make people happy. The fact that these came out in 90 and 91 kind of blows my mind, because that was a rapid release and reproduction.
Yeah, no, that was very quick, and I feel like the first one was almost more like, okay, let's base this a little bit more off of the comics. Like, because the comics were darker. And then the second one, it's like, oh, right, like, the cartoon was really big. Like, kids love this. We have to lighten this up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because even, like, Toka and Razor are, like, they're, like, scary, but they're also very like, even outside of their personalities of basically being children. Their faces, like, when you actually look at their faces aren't scary. They have, like, big, wide, like childish eyes.
Yeah. I remember that. I have strong memories of the eating scene, and that just always gave me like as that was coming up, I was like, oh man, the way they eat is so weird and gross. Like I remember it being much worse.
Yeah, with the donuts, you mean?
Yeah, with the donuts. But I love it. But like, yeah, it's unfortunate that they had to go campiness with the sequel, and it's probably also what they did with the third one as well.
The third one is just. The third one has a lot of problems because the third one's the time travel one.
Yeah.
So like they go back to feudal Japan.
Yeah, I barely remember anything about the third one. We watched it a handful of times at most, but like I said, the movie we watched was Turtles 2.
Yeah, I feel like Turtles 2 was on TV a lot.
It was, for sure it was. Like it was because it was
like Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, Back to the Future 2 was on more often than Back to the Future because again, like, Back to the Future maybe had, like, a more serious, darker tone, and then it's like, oh, this is going to be something kids will like. And there's a cartoon out for it now, so let's make it campy. And so that's what they do. Like, that's what they did in the 80s. Like, they didn't try to stick with their original target demographic. They always changed, because, like, 80s, 90s movies, like, was seemingly always about product placement, as much as they can. And kids are gonna force their parents to go see these movies a number of times. I'm pretty sure we saw Jurassic Park 4 times in theaters when we were kids. I think my dad got free tickets for delivering to the movie theater, but still, like, we saw Jurassic Park a bunch of times in theaters. I jumped at one scene once. Like, when there's good movies that'll take kids' attentions, you're gonna go see them. Especially back then, when movie prices probably weren't what they are now.
Yeah. No, like, movie prices now are crazy. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it is a shame that they had to kind of lean so far into camp with 2. But, like, I think 2 still had, like, some fun stuff in it. Like, it was cool having, like, because they didn't have Casey, like, having Kino as that, like, outside, like, person that can also kind of, like, keep up with them. Yeah. It's a shame that they never really let Kino do anything, though. Like, he has that, like, one little, like, oh, I know how to kick people in the beginning of the movie. And then he beats the guys in, like, the foot initiation thing. But then, like, Raphael does the belt test for him. And after that, they're just kind of, like, he gets left behind when they do the Toka Razor stuff. And then he shows up and, like, he does kind of save the day. But, like, I don't know whether, like, the Turtles would have, like, the Turtles weren't able to beat Shredder the first time. I don't know why they thought they could beat him the second time, like, a week later.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I think it had a lot to do with, like, the whole complaints with Casey. Bad role model, beating people up, blah, 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 wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, can you imagine if those movies were made today? Everything would be a problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if those movies, well, they did make them.
No, I meant these exact movies.
These exact movies would not be able to be made today. They would not. They definitely would not, because, if you're talking these exact movies with these same exact actors, definitely no, would not be able to be made. Like, you'd have to change at least the voice actor and or actor of Splinter, for sure.
Yeah.
For that to be made today. The story itself would work, I think.
Yeah, the story definitely works, but, like, just, like, the framings, like, the levels of, because it would be geared more towards kids, like, they would have to, like, there'd be complaints about the violence and how that's handled, and...
Yeah, but, like, the first two, the two newer ones with Johnny Knoxville, like, they still had that level of violence and stuff, and they were still geared more towards kids. Especially the second one was geared a lot more towards kids than the first one. It's kind of the same problem, and like the second one, like it really hurt. The CG really made that one fall apart.
And like
in the sequel,
I only watched the first one, and like I barely got through that one. But, like, I know the turtles and stuff were CG. Did they fight were the Foot Clan actually human, or was it even the Foot in that movie? I don't remember.
I believe the Foot were actually CG, were actual people, even Shredder for the most part. I think Shredder did become Super Shredder in that. I don't remember. But, like, the second one, they dealt with Krang and stuff like that, and they had the Cosmodrome. And so just...
Krang and the Technodrome.
Technodrome, yeah, Krang and the Technodrome. But, like, once Krang, like, actually started to become a major focus, and the Technodrome and everything, the entire movie was just CG from that point, and it wasn't good CG. Even for the time, it wasn't good CG. Like, you could go see Sonic 2, and it's like, alright, well, that may be a little off, this may be a little off, but it still all worked and felt right for the movie. Whereas in Turtles 2, in the remake of the Turtles or whatever, in the modern Turtles 2, it didn't work.
Out of the Shadows, I think that one was subtitled.
Out of the Shadows. I kind of want to rewatch them just so, like, because I liked the first one. The first one was good, and I don't think it reviewed very bad either. Like, I very much enjoyed the first one, and I think they did the Turtles very well. I know you don't like Megan Fox and shit, so you hated it. But, like, I thought everything else was fine. I thought they did a great job. And even the second one, like, I didn't fully watch it. I was, like, it was during, like, a family party or gathering, and I was, like, back and forth into it. So I never actually got to get a full scope of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, even without Megan Fox, like, yes, she was bad in those movies. Like, I didn't enjoy those movies. Like, I can't help that. Like, I thought they were very poorly made movies. I also, like, I don't really, other than, like, Armageddon, I realize, like, there aren't a lot of Michael Bay movies I like.
Yeah, I think we've gone over that. You just don't like Michael Bay.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it happens. But yeah, I think these movies held up surprisingly well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I think they were great. I think they worked very well. I liked them. I liked them a lot.
Cool. Well, I believe your pick will be next since Drew's not here. So do you know what you want to do for the next book club?
I'm trying. I thought I came up with something earlier this week, and I didn't, or I didn't write it down. And I have. I'm not gonna do the one that's on my list. This next one that's on my list because we just did a kung fu movie. Hold on. Let's look at another one real quick. I'm so mad because I thought I came up with a good one. And I can't remember what it was. I don't know what I was doing. Let's see if that's available anywhere. It does not look like it. So I don't 100% have an idea, but I could come up with one. No, we're not going to do that one. Let's see if this last one is available anywhere. If not, I'm just going to go onto Netflix and pick something.
Way to be completely unprepared.
No, I could have swore I had something. Like, I wrote something down. There was something that I looked up recently. Let's see if I can maybe check my search history from, like, the past week or so, and see if I can find anything, or what it was that I was thinking about. But it's just, I have an idea. Like, I did come up with one. I do have one that I want to do. Like I said, we just did a kung fu movie, and I'd like to do another one. To have you guys do another one, like, it'll probably make Druten quit the show.
What is it?
It's called The Fable, The Killer Who Doesn't Kill. It's actually a sequel to a movie called The Fable, I believe.
Oh, it's like relatively new.
Yeah, so The Fable is 2019. It's an action comedy. And then there's one, The Killer Who Doesn't Kill, I think, is the sequel. A Hitman Who Doesn't Kill, which came out in 2021. They're both on Netflix. I don't actually know if there's, like, I don't really know much about them. I just know I was watching a video and they were talking about the stunts and the effects that they do, the stunts that they do in A Hitman Who Doesn't Kill. And, like, it looked really cool. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to watch that, and I kind of want to do it for book club. But, like I said, I don't want to force you guys to do a...
Yeah, I'll be happy to watch that, like, later on, but, like, I don't want to watch another 2-hour movie that's only available subtitled. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. No, I totally get you. Where's my list?
Yeah.
Where is my
Unfortunately,
list?
Like, I don't have, like, a problem with, like, the subtitle stuff, but it's really hard to fucking find time to watch things subtitled.
Yeah, I get you. Let's just go through and find a movie, my list that I've been wanting to watch but haven't watched. I'm sorry about this.
And
I can't remember.
This guy coming unprepared.
Look, I didn't come unprepared. This is supposed to be Druten's pick, okay?
He told us yesterday he probably wasn't going to be here tonight, though.
Still. What's this? Nope, not that. What's this? Nope, that's a series.
Man, this is awful podcast right here.
Just cut this out. You know that.
How about the 2000 comedy classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Again, do you want Drew to just like not do the show anymore?
I mean, that's not a bad movie.
But it's not Christmas time either.
It happens. It's Christmas in May.
Well, hold on. When does that come out? When's that release? Season 3, May 20th. Damn it! No.
What were you thinking?
Love, Death, and Robots series. It's an anthology series, but the show I've talked about it before.
It's the anime with the dicks you were watching that one time.
Yeah, but it's season 3 is coming out soon. So I was gonna say let's do season 3. Is this that's a series as well? Is this one? That's a series as well. Stupid Netflix having all series.
Well, switch it to movies.
But I'm trying to go through my list.
And yeah, if you go to the movies tab, you have a list, and it'll just be your movies.
Movies. It's right now. Can I just sort by my list? Like I'm on my phone. My list. Here we go. Let's do Ip Man 2. No. Oh, there's an Invader Zim movie?
I didn't know that.
You know what? Let's do this. We'll do a documentary. Alright, you want to do a documentary?
I will do a documentary as long as it's in English.
Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and Greed. We'll do the Bob Ross documentary. I think Jordan will love that.
I don't think he'd be against that one.
No. So yeah, let's go ahead and go with that one. I'm mad I couldn't think of what it was that I was thinking about before.
It's got like a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean it's a documentary about Bob Ross, so
yeah. So, and it's only 90 minutes, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
So the reason I looked is Netflix documentaries super hit or miss. Some of them are actually really well done, and some of them are just the fucking bottom of the barrel.
Oh wait, is it a movie or is this a series? You know what? Let's change it. I'm sorry. Let's do something else.
Make up your mind, man.
Metal Lords. It's a movie. It's not a documentary. We'll do the movie Metal Lords. It's on Netflix. It just came out.
I feel like I've heard of that. Is that the one where like the people like they're trying to build like a band or something? Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is.
A coming of age comedy about friendship, love, and metal. And it's like I've been hearing people talk about. It's good. It's fun. So I'll let you make that choice. Which one would you rather do? Do you want to do Bob Ross or do you want to do the movie?
We can do this.
I know Druten would vote for Bob Ross probably.
It's you know it's got an 83 audience score and a 63 critic score, so it's not like bad on either count. And it's only an hour and a half, so.
And it literally just came out. It's brand new, so it's going to be like our first ever like brand new book club.
Cool.
Essentially.
That's what we're doing then. I locked it in. It's on my timestamps.
Good. It's locked.
Right.
Wait, let's do it. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's locked. You're stuck now.
Damn it.
But
Damn it.
That is probably going to be a show.
Uh-huh.
We went much longer than I thought we would, considering the outline has 3 things on it. And one of them is just comics, I guess, question mark.
We talked about Twitch and other stuff. We shot the shit for a while. It was some good conversations.
Yeah. So, yeah, in 2 weeks, we will talk about Metal Lords on Netflix as our next book club. So that would be May the 11th. And other than that, though, if you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also find us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there, though, with some dollars, you can support us by going to your favorite podcasting platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Stitcher. We're all over the place. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of those things help a whole bunch. You can also find us on social media. We are facebook.com/onequestonline or at @1_quest on Twitter and Instagram. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo. And you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. And don't forget, on Friday night, you can go check out Richie at on his Twitch stream where he's going to be wearing a suit and you can make him do silly things.
Twitch.tv/B_1nuts.
And what time are you starting? Like 7?
6 o'clock-ish is when I'm going to start, and I'm going to eat some sushi. The goal is to start gaming by 6:30.
Okay. So yeah.
So I'm doing something new I've never done and don't like doing. I'm going to eat on camera. So I'm really, really stepping out of my box right here.
But other than that, we will be back. We will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.